The cottage and the staff quarters are almost finished, but there's one big problem. We have no electricity, and from day one, we said we're going fully off grid. So today, we're installing a solar system to power both structures. And this setup right here is powerful enough to run everything. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm documenting the journey of building a home in Zimbabwe while living abroad, from buying land, drilling a borehole, all the way to completing the build. And to everyone that's subscribed, I really appreciate you. And if you're new here, welcome. From day one, the goal was simple really, to be completely off grid. The first step was water. We drilled a borehole, we hit plenty of water, and that same water has been used to build everything you're seeing now. If you haven't seen that episode, check out episode 2 of this series. So now we have water, the next step is electricity. Because as we get closer to finishing both structures, we need reliable power. So I brought in the guys from Scorsese 3 Eagles, and they got straight to work. You can see here they started off with the roof, installing the rails, then mounting the panels one by one. Now on the inside, this is where all the equipment will live. I designed this as a dedicated utility area so that everything is clean, safe, and away from living spaces. This is where we'll have batteries, our inverter, the DC and AC isolators. And here you can see the guys unboxing the inverter, the batteries, and all the accessories that are going to be installed inside the house. You'll notice that the panels are slightly offset to one side. Well, that was intentional. We're planning to install solar geysers, so we left space for that. So you always want to be thinking ahead. And this is a good point to break down what you actually installed. So we installed 8 solar panels, one 6.2 kVA inverter, and 2 54-volt batteries. Now this is where it gets interesting. Instead of a typical setup, we did something slightly different. Each battery is supported by roughly 4 panels, so effectively we're almost mimicking 2 smaller systems combined into one. This gives us balance. Power is shared across buildings so that no building's ever overloaded, no energy is wasted, and everything runs efficiently. Let's simplify some of this jargon. You'll always hear terms like kilowatts, kilowatt hours, and kVA, but what does it mean really? So the easiest way to think about it is that kilowatts is the power that you're using at any given point. Think of it like how much electricity your house is pulling right now. Kilowatt hours is how long that power can be sustained. For example, a battery stores energy in kilowatt hours, so it tells you how many hours you can run your house before it runs out. kVA is the total capacity of a system, and this usually applies to things like an inverter or a generator. But not all of that kVA is usable. That's where the power factor comes in. It's a number that's between 1 and 0, and that tells you how much of that capacity can be real usable power. So if your inverter, for instance, say has a power factor of 0.9, it means that you're getting 90% usable power from it. Another thing that can be really confusing in Zimbabwe is solar brands. Some of the most common brands you'll come across are Deye, Sunsync, Growatt, Must, Samri, SNRE. In terms of how they're generally positioned, Deye and Sunsync sit at the premium end, very reliable, especially for hybrid and off-grid setups. Growatt is more middle range, solid performance and widely used. Mast, Samri and Decenary are more budget friendly. They get the job done, but with fewer advanced features. We went with the Growatt hybrid inverter, which is key because it allows you to run solar, batteries, either ZESA or even a generator in all one system. And crucially, we paired it with Deye batteries, because when it comes to batteries, you want reliability, proper battery management and long-term performance. One thing for sure is that a cheap battery will cost you more in the long run. I mentioned that we went with the hybrid inverter. We did that for flexibility. A hybrid inverter can take power from solar, ZESA or a generator. It gives us flexibility. If the solar drops, you can always plug in Trust, our generator, as a temporary solution. You can see everything coming together nicely here. The panels are fully installed, batteries mounted, and the inverters connected, and everything is straight and clean. I'm very particular about straight lines. The Scorsese guys are rightly proud of their work here. I'll add their contact details in the comment section. With these systems, it means that we can run all lighting, security lights, multiple fridges and a freezer, an iron during the day, water pressure pump, a borehole pump. We have a 1.5 horsepower pump sitting at 100 meters. So this isn't small. This is a fully off-grid setup. And honestly, it's been solid. By the time I get to the site at about 11 o'clock in the morning, the batteries are already fully charged. Now let's talk costs. This system came in at 3,463 all in, supply, installation, support included, so you don't have to worry about a thing. And remember, this is in your standard 6.2 kVA setup. We've added more panels and added an extra battery. So this is closer to running two systems in one. Now 3,463 might sound like a lot up front, but when you break it down, it actually starts to make sense. This system, especially the batteries, have a lifespan of 10 years. So let's do a simple comparison. If each structure was using ZESA electricity at $40 per month, that's £80 a month for both structures and around $960 per year, which is roughly 9,600 over 10 years. Compared to the one-time cost of 3,463, you're saving over 6,000 in the long run. And that's before you even factor in the biggest benefit. No power cuts, no interruptions, and you have full control. And here it is, the completed system: 2 batteries, 6.2 kVA hybrid inverter, Canadian solar panels, clean, safe, and properly installed. This is a big milestone because we now have water, we now have electricity, and we're truly off-grid. In the next episode, we'll keep pushing the build forward and getting even closer to completion. If you've been enjoying the journey of building a home while abroad, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. And as always, catch you in the next one. Peace.